There we go. There's my mic. It's actually time to get on right now. And it is it's 7 o'clock. We're live. Welcome to Super Serial Showtime, everyone. As always, I'm your host, Metal, and joining me is my co-host, Marsupial Gamer. And we're here to talk about movies, shows, sometimes comics, novels, whatever floats our boat. Probably a couple movies or so, stuff that we've been watching recently. I've got some news for at least one or two upcoming movies. We're probably going to give, at least I'm going to give my thoughts for the closing of the summer anime season, at least the stuff I've been watching. I know at least one of them you can weigh in too. You probably have some thoughts of your own. It'll be a pretty entertaining show, so make sure you bring your friends, share this out, get them into the audience, and if any of you happen to have a really good time and appreciate the show, you can always give a donation to streamlabs.com/vomitoriumalive at any point in time during the show. Really helps us out, and we'll get into things. I see you got my favorite series behind you right now.
Yeah. Fortunately, that image it's like right behind my head. Yeah. I'd have to find one that's got them smaller in the background or something.
Yeah, that's from like the first couple episodes of the remake before her hair got chopped off.
Yeah. It's coming. It's coming.
No, this upcoming week, we're getting it on the 4th, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Saturday, I believe.
And I think...
Ranma 1/2, Season 2.
I want to say... Yeah, it's just throwing us right back into the mix of things.
Yeah, I don't remember... I know Shampoo was near the end.
Yeah, closed out with Shampoo.
I don't remember exactly how it ended. Oh, okay.
With her going back to China. Don't worry, she won't be there for long. At all.
Good?
Yeah. It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
I'm actually really excited to see certain aspects of it that will be corrected. Like with the whole cat foo, which I think... I'm trying to remember. That might be literally the first thing that we deal with is the cat foo shenanigans.
Cat foo.
Yeah. But in the manga, that is where we get our introduction, I think, to the character Gosen Kugi is during that.
Okay.
Who, in the original adaptation of Ranma 1/2, Gosen Kugi doesn't show up until like season 4 or something, because they took all of his roles and gave it to their made-up OC Sasuke the ninja. In English, they pronounce Sasuke, the kind of like butler for the Kuno family, who does not exist in the manga at all. So I believe he'll actually be doing his proper role, Gosen Kugi, when we're supposed to meet him at the beginning of this season. And I'm excited for that. He's a really dopey character that believes in trying
to find a
Shinto style like curses and stuff, similar to voodoo that you could put onto people.
That sounds good. Is that the? I guess there's one male character that I've seen in the promos that I don't recognize.
The emaciated looking one.
I guess.
He's got like a very ghoulish with like a caved in face. He's like really skinny.
I don't think so.
Oh, or are you talking about the tall one with the long hair? Because that's Moose. That's Moose.
Okay, I see. Yeah, I'm trying to find a picture of him, but yeah, I think it must be. Yeah. Really tall. He's got like glasses on his head.
Yeah. No, that's Moose, who's absolutely blind without his glasses on. Like he should be wearing them all the time, but he doesn't.
Puts them up on his head.
Or sometimes they're just like in his sleeves or whatever. Like he doesn't even whip them out in the first place. And you're like, Moose, you know you're blind without your glasses. Why are you walking around with them on? You think you? I give him credit. He does actually have a pretty handsome face, all things considered, as far as guys go. and he wears like these big round glasses. He basically has like grandpa glasses, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like I could see why he doesn't want to wear his glasses. And I mean, this was what I think when he was introduced, it was still like 89, maybe 1990. So it's like, yeah, he could have already started using contacts, I guess, but they weren't as commonly used, especially in Japan back then.
Yeah.
So like glasses. That's the only way.
Really
you
hard contact.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although it shows, there's another picture of him with his glasses on. They're kind of tinted. They kind of look cool. They kind of look retro, like 70s glasses. Kind of like, yeah, I don't know, some rock band would wear in the 70s.
Well, in the context of
when
the
he puts them on
series,
his head, they look.
he
thick.
definitely doesn't look cool. Right. Because, I mean, you think, too, at the time, he basically has really big round dork glasses. And that, like, specifically gave him really big round dork glasses. Yeah. What are we talking about? Well, we won't be talking about this for long because there's not much to talk about. We just are rolling in, just chatting a little bit about Ranma before getting into any of the subjects for today. Because it is coming up this week, and we're kind of excited for it. But
Yeah, coming up in 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to something we've actually seen or that has come out already.
Would you like to start with that? I mean, I do have like at least one announcement, which we could start there.
No, I just assumed whatever you were going to
Yeah.
say was going to be interesting.
No, well, I mean, it is going to be interesting, I guess. I don't know. Fizz pointed out to me while I was streaming earlier, but I've went and looked into it since then, and apparently there is going to be a Simpsons movie coming out in a couple years to follow the 40th anniversary of The Simpsons, which will also be the 20th anniversary of the first Simpsons movie, which was on the 20th anniversary of The Simpsons. It's been 20 years since the first Simpsons movie. Yeah. It seems they're doing this every 20 years.
Okay. Well, what? I must
Simpsons
have
came
seen
out in
the first
87.
Simpsons movie.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so it's not coming out until 2027.
Yeah, 2 years from now. They announced it now.
Wow. What was the first Simpsons movie about? I don't remember anything.
That was the Dome. Do you don't remember the Dome?
Okay, yeah.
Ipa.
Sort of.
Ipa! Ipa! Oh, with the old man like yelling at the clouds and everything. Because it was
Was this the
Spider Pig.
The Spider Pig thing?
Spider Pig, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, and there was like
Remember
a
that.
ecological disaster, and they convinced the president, because he was elected to lead, not to read, to pick the plan that puts a giant dome around Springfield to block it off from the rest of the world.
I see.
Yeah.
Hey, what is
Actually,
this?
I loved
Oh.
the movie, honestly. I thought it was hilarious at a time that Simpsons was kind of at a low, and after like the success of the movie, I don't know, maybe they started paying their writers more, maybe they hired better writers for a couple seasons or so, at least maybe 4 seasons after the movie. I thought it was still great. Simpsons still has good episodes, mind you. They're just not consistently good, right? Like you'll get like a good one every few episodes or so. But they were like really good, almost like the first 9 seasons again, shortly after the movie came out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did you ever see this trailer for a live action Simpsons movie with Adam Sandler playing Homer?
No, I don't think I have.
It's definitely fake.
Yeah.
It's kind of hilarious. It looks like him in a big fat suit, but I think it's AI generated or something.
Yeah. I think one of the big things too is I believe for the Simpsons movie, Matt came back to write on it, which is why it felt kind of similar to when Simpsons was really good. I don't know. It is an anniversary. It's a big deal. Maybe he'll come back to write on the new movie too, right? Maybe it'll feel a little bit like older Simpsons again.
Yeah.
You know?
Is there any discussion of what it's about, or just
No, it
too
just
early?
they just put up like a announcement movie poster thing, and it had like Homer holding a pink frosted sprinkled donut over like an imprint or shadow of a pink frosted sprinkled donut, to signify that this is the second one. Which that was pretty much what they did with the first one, is they just put the donut there as the preview for the movie poster.
Yeah. But these the AI likenesses are not realistic looking at all.
It's like, oh my god, this is the worst day of my life. Worst day of your life so far.
Homer's coming back for seconds. Theaters. July 23rd, 2027.
Yep.
So more stuff that hasn't come out yet. It's even farther away.
Yeah. I'm optimistic about it because the first one was also just really good during a Simpsons drought. Maybe they'll pull some of the other writers, like, hey, maybe they'll pull Conan to come work on it as a writer, you know? He used to do some writing during Simpsons. Some of the better episodes. He worked on the monorail episode, which is a really good one. Yeah. It's like he never lets that down either. Like, anytime he can, he mentions that he worked on the monorail episode. So maybe they'll pull back some of their classic writers, really give it a college try or whatever. But I'm definitely excited for that because Homer Simpson is one of my favorite cartoon characters. Like, I think in the history of cartoons, he's such a good character. Even when he's awful, he's still lovable, which is not something I can say about a lot of other like adult cartoon characters. Hank Hill's probably the only other one I can think of that, which Hank is actually never awful. I can't think of a time he has been, but even at his lowest, like, he's still a lovable character. That's Homer. Like, even when he's at his lowest, you're like, yeah, but at least the traditional version of Homer, he's always a dad that tried. Right.
Yeah. I just haven't seen Simpsons in so long.
I've seen some like
I think
random
I've seen
stuff
it in 10 years at least.
within the last few years. Like, I probably saw an episode a month or two before I came to Arizona. And honestly, at least one of the episodes I saw within that last year was good. They weren't all bad or anything. There definitely some funny moments in them.
It says Matt Groening?
I have no idea how he says his name. I've said it like 5 different ways in my life.
Yeah. Apparently, I don't know if he's talking about this movie, but he said a movie's been in the works by him for 12 years.
Okay. I hope that he worked on the first one, and the first one was an absolute delight. I think it's very rewatchable. Even if you had not seen The Simpsons between then, right? Like, a lot of people stopped. Like, season 10's where they stopped because like it was already wearing thin. Like 9 was the last good one. A lot of people say they'll watch like through 10 or 11 because it's around that time, and then yes, Fizz, we all know. But that's about like people stopped. So there was like a whole decade for a lot of people who used to like The Simpsons that weren't like the regular audience before the first movie came out. And it brought a ton of people to it and brought them back in. And like I said, even the talent for the show got better for a bit afterwards. So, I don't know, it might be a good revival. Maybe that they're playing the long game, right? Maybe they're okay with like a decade drought. So every 2 decades, they'll do a movie. They'll have a decade of good Simpsons. They'll let it kind of peter out, and then they'll do another movie the decade afterwards. And they just have like these 20-year Simpson cycles, and it just becomes a forever show. That's just permanently part of the American culture.
That seems to be what their goal is.
Yeah.
I want to show you this. If I can figure out how to do full screen, and why is it that difficult? I haven't done it in a while. In Chrome. Will help. What is it, like Alt F?
I don't know.
Or-
Usually, like F11 full screens most programs. I don't know if that's it for-
F11. There
Yeah.
we go. So this is a it's not a video.
Oh, let
I just
me,
want to show you. It's still
I guess, open it.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I guess. Still screens are fine. I don't think that'll kill the show.
Okay. Good.
That's
So
assuming
this
Discord
is
wants to
from
load
Saucy
it.
Fry Animation on Newgrounds, but this is from.
Hopefully
No,
we're back.
I hear you.
No, I know. It was OBS that got disconnected. I don't know why. We just kind of like lost most of our signal. It says we're reconnected. It says we should be back.
I guess sharing my screen was too much.
Yeah, I don't know. I told you, my computer is not the kid it used to be.
You need to reformat it.
I don't think reformatting my
Anyway,
computer is going to save it. Yeah, I don't know. I think I lost you for a moment.
Are we on?
Yeah, I am. I don't know. We're trying to go. You know
Better
the
move on to the next subject.
Yeah, you know what the
Quickly.
sad part is? Like, it's trying to diagnose what the actual problem is. While I'm doing this, OBS says my CPU is running at 24% capacity. You know, like, it's not overloading or anything. I'm not even getting, like, a encoding error issue. And even when we're disconnecting
Must
or
be the
whatever,
internet, I guess.
it shows that I've got, like, 2,800 kilobits per second. And we're green. It's just my computer
Well,
showing
not
its
like-
age, I think.
Yeah, I'm not downloading anything, so I don't know. It seems like we're back, so let's stop talking
yeah.
about how we're down and move on.
I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down.
Indeed. So what
Yep,
else is
yep.
going on?
A lot of things are going on, actually, but not really anything I want to talk about. That was pretty much the big announcement I wanted to talk about because I like The Simpsons.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it.
Let me
There's
just-
some stuff about an AI
Alright.
actor, but I don't know if we want to get to that. Should we talk about other things
Okay.
instead? Which I know you had watched previously, and we talked about a little bit, watched The Naked Gun yesterday, the new one, and I very much enjoyed it. And I don't think we actually talked about it prior to the movie releasing on this show.
No, I guess not.
Yeah.
But I thought the trailer looked funny, but you never know. And then it turned out the movie actually was pretty good.
Oh yeah, it was great, I think. Like I don't know if it was 1-to-1 as good as the old stuff, but I think it captured the magic of it pretty accurately.
Yeah, I thought Liam Neeson. No, not Liam Neeson. Yes,
It was Liam
right.
Neeson.
Yeah, I thought he did a pretty good job picking up the torch from Leslie Nielsen.
Mhm.
Liam Neeson and Leslie Nielsen.
Yes, I think that was done on purpose, knowing the people
So
working on this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
Pamela
not the,
Anderson looks
yeah.
okay.
You know, I
Compared
didn't
to
recognize her
Leslie.
at first,
Usually looks-
right? You know, I recognized her
Yeah.
by her breasts before I did her face. I'm like, those boobs look familiar.
Well, it almost looked like it almost looked like they like reversed her plastic surgery. I mean, it's really
Yeah,
weird. Like
I know.
I thought she looked kind of
Okay.
like
Before.
I've seen her before. No, I thought she looked terrible.
Oh, I haven't seen her in years, so I
and-
don't know.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like if you look at recent pictures of her, she looks bizarre and terrible. But in this movie, somehow she looked kind of normal. Didn't really look like Pamela Anderson used to, but
Like I said, I recognized her
I don't know.
boobs before I recognized the rest of her.
Yeah. Why do they always have really old people in these movies?
Well,
mean,
because there were a bunch of
Leslie
really old
Nielsen.
people in the original.
Yeah, I mean, why? Leslie Nielsen seemed
Yeah.
quite old when he was
Okay.
in the original.
The reason for that is the same reason most of those people were cast in Airplane, right? Which predates all of that. And it was because all those people were very big, serious actors at the time that movie came out. And part of the joke was that wouldn't it be funny if we wrote a comedic movie and all of these like action and drama stars just played all of the comedy completely straight like they would any of their other roles. Like that was the whole reason that they were hired.
Yeah.
And that was like all of them. All of them were hired for that reason. There's a couple like younger people in like their late 20s in it, but a lot of the other ones they were like stars from even the decade or so before that movie came out, right? So they were trying to do mostly the same thing.
I mean, I guess Police Squad. Let me see. When was that in the 70s or? Oh, it's in 1982. So, yeah. So he was old, but like Leslie Nielsen, when the original Naked Gun came out, was 62. Yeah, 62. And
and trying to be played off like a detective heartthrob, which is
Liam-
almost like in comedy itself that
Yeah.
this old man is being played off as the detective heartthrob.
Yeah, and Liam Neeson is 73.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But like, let me see, 1988. Well, God, I thought Priscilla Presley looked amazing in that movie, but she was 39. So, pretty awesome. 39? Wait, 40. Wait, that's not right. She was 43
43. Okay.
in the original Naked Gun. 43, yeah. They should have brought her back, but she's 80 years old now. Yeah. But you know what? I was right, by the way. So Liam Neeson's partner, who was played by the guy from Cobra Kai.
Yes. Yeah, he was the son
Right.
of the other.
What was his name? Scorpion or something?
Stingray.
Or
That
Stingray.
was his character's name
Yeah.
in Cobra Kai.
Yeah, his the character's father was Captain Ed Hawkins.
Oh, okay. Well, I just
who
know on Police
was
Squad that
Frank
he and
Drebin's boss.
Drebin's always worked together, but I guess in that setting, it wouldn't be
Yeah.
weird for your boss and you to be on the same case. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
but he kind of had the similar relationship between like Inspector Gadget and the Chief, except the Chief rarely showed up. But just to give him the the
I would have said
self-destructing
that their
message.
relationship was kind of closer to like Jack Ryan and Greer in the show that we were watched recently, where Greer was
Yeah,
technically his
that's a
boss,
good-
but they were working together.
Yeah, I guess that's even better. Yeah. But yeah, what's funny is like if you watch those old ones, like they beat the shit out of O.J. Simpson in those
Oh,
movies.
yeah. Yeah.
I mean, obviously just a character, but
I mean,
Yeah,
they
I
kind of
mean, he
did in
gets
this movie.
shot,
The very one time he was mentioned, they just did it like metaphorically by being like, "Yeah, we're not touching that."
yeah, but I mean, physically, like he was shot, and then they just like beating him up, like the bed
Yeah.
kept folding up, it was flying over the edge of the baseball stadium thing.
Yeah, yeah.
He got beat up in that one because Nordberg was originally a white guy in Police Squad. So I don't know who played him originally. But...
I've been watching a lot of clips of Police Squad recently. Like I saw like entire like stories and episodes and stuff back when I was a kid, like on reruns. But like recently they've been showing up in my feed, and I've just been watching a lot of clips from Police Squad. And the thing is, like, it's just as goofy as everything else, you know? It's like, even the fighting is just, he'll just be like, thwack, push, and stuff like that, you know? It's...
Yeah.
You can barely tell the difference between that and the Batman show from the 60s, except the Batman's playing it kind of serious, and this one is completely playing it up for comedy. Is it kind of serious? Yeah.
What? I do like how at the end of this new movie they did the intro to Police Squad.
Yeah, I liked
where
that.
the cruiser is going through
everything, through the station, through the hospital, just running people over on the streets, which we got that in the movie itself too, with the self-driving car, and and he's like, get out of the road, and he's like on the sidewalk just running people over.
Yeah. And was that what it was, a self-driving car where he was like still hooked up to the gas or something and pulls like the entire,
because he told the car to go like 30 feet forward, and it just pulled the thing out. I guess it was supposed to be like an electric charger though, because it was a fully electric car.
Oh right, electric.
Yeah,
that's right. But it was it must have been connected to the jail
and it
of the police. Yeah.
That was in the previews, though, right? Like that and the other one we mentioned with the OJ thing. Those were in the previews. So, which, they're funny bits, but this was definitely one of the cases where they didn't put the funniest bits in the trailers. Like, it's worth watching because the couple things you saw in the trailer, it just gets way, way funnier throughout the movie. There's a classic.
No,
I think they did this with silhouettes originally, but they could do it with heat vision this time. But there was a classic innuendo-based joke where the things that people are doing it on the other side of the wall do not look like what you see their silhouettes doing. And it was with the dog, right? His dog came in and he was trying to lick the turkey baster, and it looked like it was like licking his cock, and it was very, very sexual looking scene, but on the other side, nothing was happening.
They did that in Austin Powers.
Oh yeah, everybody's done that, right? But in the past, like you would do it like with a screen or something, or curtains, and all you would see is a silhouette, like their shadows. This one, they did like use heat vision, which I think it's probably not entirely original. A couple other people probably did it with heat vision too. But for the Naked Gun and Police Squad, that's kind of like an original way of doing the same joke that people have always done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, this is confusing. And Google's AI is so stupid. It just contradicts itself.
Always.
Because I was looking at, so the in the new movie, Ed Hawken, his seeming partner, is also a captain, and therefore potentially also his boss. He definitely doesn't act like it.
Well, also, if somebody's captain, it doesn't necessarily mean they're your boss. They're higher up on the ladder than you, but that doesn't mean they're directly your boss. They just, have more authority. Technically, I believe his boss was the police chief. I think that was the only person he had to directly report to.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. I did like the funny bit where her husband had a big day, so you couldn't wake him up, and like they were just trying to whisper, it's like, you will not wake.
Oh yeah.
It was like I can't remember his name. Ronald,
Yeah.
you will not wake Ronald up. He's got a big day. And like it just completely diverts from what they're talking about to how like he keeps getting passed over promotions. It's like, but Ronald basically trained that guy. I know. It's like nothing to do with the conversation anymore.
Yeah. But wasn't that like the police commissioner or something?
Yeah,
Doesn't matter.
whatever. The chief,
yeah.
right? The top person. It was
Yeah.
and at the very end too, it's like, Ronald, wake up! You got your promotion. Like that there was like that little through line. I think my favorite bit in the entire movie though was probably the tangent of the romance where they went off onto like a ski trip vacation, right? Out of nowhere, they
Yeah.
brought a snowman to life, and then it like turns into a slasher film. It goes from like Hallmark movie parody to slasher film
Yeah.
parody out of nowhere. I think that was my favorite bit of the entire movie.
Yeah, that was very strange.
Yeah.
They were building the snowman, and then they were they
They're
brought it
making
to
love
life, and then
to
they
the
like
snowman.
had sex with it. Yeah.
And then it started getting jealous because he kept
then-
pushing the snowman off. Like, no, this is mine. Go away.
Yeah, and they ended up outside in the hot tub, and of course they couldn't go with them.
Yeah.
Hot tub. So
The hot tub was crucial setup, right? Because that's where the snowman's head ended up at the end. Just like
Yeah.
her playing around with the katana was crucial setup because that was going to have to come back around later.
uh-huh.
It's a great
Yeah,
bit.
I will say for a silly airplane style Naked Gun style, style obviously movie, like whoever wrote it, like knows how to write a movie, how to write a comedy. Like, yeah, they had setups and payoffs, and like, a lot of modern movies don't even have that.
Yeah. Like I was saying, it felt like
Especially
a very
comedies.
Seth MacFarlane movie.
Mhm.
Even he did produce it.
Oh, he wrote it, right?
Yeah, I think he was
Oh,
maybe
he
on the
wrote it?
writing staff. I didn't look to see if he got writing credits, but he produced it. He was very much involved with the process from what I've read. I just have to look to see if he was one of the writers. But it definitely had his flavor to it. But that shouldn't be surprising. A lot of people were skeptical that he could do this. But then I remembered that pretty much the entire first season, and maybe even some of the second one, most of the jokes from Family Guy were literally just retelling jokes that were in Airplane and like Police Squad and stuff. Like he was already ripping them off.
Yeah.
It's like, of course he knows how these jokes should work. That was like his entire career we're stealing these jokes.
Apparently, there were a lot of producers, and he wasn't the director or the writer.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he must have had something. Akiva Schaffer was the director and one of the 3 writers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the guy from Lonely Island.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know who he
Like
is.
the dorky guy with the
Yeah,
glasses.
yeah. I can never remember his name, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. I love Lonely Island. They're so
What
funny.
are these other guys? Yeah.
But they kind of also live in that kind of world, sort of. If you like watch any
Yeah.
Lonely Island video for their music, is like they kind of live in an airplane-like world.
Mhm.
Especially Threw
Well,
It on the
they-
Ground. Threw It on the Ground's probably still my favorite.
Well, those 3 guys like seem to be very, I don't know, smart and sort of into good cinema. I mean,
Yeah.
their music videos are very well produced and well thought out.
Oh, actually, I don't know if Threw It on the Ground's my favorite.
Hilarious.
I also really, really like. Oh man, I'm trying to remember the name of it. Jack Sparrow, I think
Like
it's
I'm on a
literally
boat.
just the call. The one with
Oh.
Michael Bolton, and he's like a cinephile.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that it's either that or Threw It on the Ground. It's tough to split between the two.
Akiva Schaffer, right? He's involved somehow in the Lego.
That
Maybe he
doesn't
was
shock me.
Maybe he's a voice actor. Yeah. Yeah, there's a few young directors who were, into.
All you got to do is
They're good at their
study the
job.
classics. If you study the classics and
Mhm.
actually learn from them, you'll get good enough. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
I think the big problem with the people trying to subvert everything, because obviously if you want to keep things fresh, you do have to have a level of subversion, is that they don't even bother to study the classics before they subvert them, right? So they don't even know what they should be doing to make something interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like whoever wrote we haven't seen it. I have no interest in seeing it, but that DC show, what's that weird guy that, it's not the Punisher, but the
No, I know what you're talking about.
crazy.
I literally saw his name earlier, and I'm just blanking on it. With John Cena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where like so far it's like second season, both seasons was just like Nazis. We're fighting Nazis.
Yeah.
Like there are no Nazis, dummies.
Yeah, Peacemaker.
Like
Thank
go
you,
touch
Chris.
grass.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peacemaker. Yeah. It's like that's all they know to write about because they have no real life experience.
Yeah, and it's not like a character I'm ever gonna remember. I've never given a shit about Peacemaker, but like you're gonna have to do more than that if you want me to start to care about the character. Like if his brings us up, I don't care that his dad was a Nazi in the comics. You could start with that, but and be like one of the few characters that actually has the connection because it's been there historically. But me as an audience member who's been inundated by the fighting Nazi shit for decades now, like I don't even care if that's the case. That's not gonna make me want to watch your show, Like I don't care at all.
Yeah. But anyway, this was a good movie.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. If you didn't see it in the theaters, I would recommend watching it whenever it's streaming,
Yeah.
wherever.
We had to watch it basically illegitimately, but I probably will rewatch it once it's like legally on film, like streaming networks and stuff, because it was good enough that I probably will find myself watching this one again.
I think so.
It also makes me want to go back and rewatch the other Naked Gun movies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the first one was a classic. I don't remember much about.
I like 3 1/3. I like that
don't
one more
remember.
than 3 3/3
2
or
and a half.
whatever it was. Or, yeah, the 2 half. I don't. That one. It's probably funny. I just don't remember that one so much. It doesn't sit in my brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I've just seen the first one so many times. Practically recite it by
Mhm.
memory.
I'm more that way with just Airplane. The first Airplane. That's
Yeah.
There's no point in watching because it wasn't 2 basically just the same movie again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much, except with William Shatner
Yeah.
in space. Basically, it was a parody of 2001.
Yeah.
Wasn't the computer named Hal?
I don't even remember. I
Airplane
barely
2?
remember that movie at all. I'd rather just watch the original again.
Yeah. Just remember where the stewardess is like, the sounds you hear are asteroids smashing against the side of the ship.
Well, in space, it'd be the only sounds you would hear, wouldn't it?
That's right.
If something's loud enough, you would technically hear it in space, but it has to be so unbelievably loud that then by the time it moves through the few particles that are out there, it's like a whisper. Like a nuclear explosion miles away in space, you'd hear like a whisper in the wind by the time it reached you, and that's it.
Yeah. Or just something that would, or the
Like, you'd hear the
guess-
Death Star blowing up
shockwave of particles would
you-
hit your.
if you were out there and could breathe in space, which you can't, but like if your eardrums could pick up the sounds from it, or if it collided with your ship and reverberated, that would be a big enough an explosion that somebody would hear something.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, what else did we watch this week?
Well, there's been a few things that ended. Both of us, we watched the finale of Rory Rocks, which I thought was pretty good. Did we cut it off before the credits? Because I think there was like a scene afterwards. That, because I've been seeing pictures of it, but I didn't go and watch it, where it actually kind of like shows her as an adult from behind, and she just kind of looks like Nagi.
Oh, we'll have to go watch the end again.
I don't know if that was that or
I don't
some
remember
bonus
that.
thing that was put up. I've just seen the picture going around.
Interesting.
But it basically came to the type of conclusion where she didn't know what she wanted going into the series, right? She just kind of cared about pretty rocks. And then throughout the entire series, she found out she actually likes learning about the pretty rocks and where they come from. Not just like what the rocks are, but why the rocks are, you know? And it kind of like leaves off on the note that this is probably what she's going to be doing with the rest of her life. It was a pretty wholesome ending. I enjoyed the whole series. Now that it's over, what do you think about the series?
I could see where it would not necessarily be for everyone. It's you know, certainly not a what do you call it, a battle shonen.
For sure.
It's pretty laid back, you know.
It's not a bunch of hype moments and aura farming at all.
Yeah, it's a bunch of girlfriends basically learning about where rocks come from.
Yeah. I think though,
Or different types
artistically,
of rocks.
a lot of the scenes are way more awe-inspiring than the stupid hype moments that people rave about in battle shonen. So,
yeah, I mean, if you're interested in, some of the beautiful painted scenes and you know where they go into a cave and they light up the.
I don't think any scene in that
stone
show
is
painted. The eye catchers, Nagi's respite, that stuff was definitely painted. But I think the vast majority of that movie, those are all just like 3D models that were rendered down to look like they were flat. Still looks beautiful, especially with the rocks. I think in some ways, using 3D objects to make those rock scenes probably look better than if somebody were to try to paint them by hand. You could reflect the light in certain ways before filtering it, that you could just catch it in a way that would be really hard to do manually.
Well, however they did it, you know, it was pretty neat. Maybe it'll inspire some people to go into mineralogy.
I hope so. It's a really cool, even if it's not like your career, at least it's a hobby. It is a really cool hobby. I like rocks.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like rocks, you know?
Yeah. You know what else ended this past week?
Let me think. A lot of things did.
It's not a trick question.
Oh, well, I'm just saying, like, I know a few things. I watched the end of Sakamoto Days. I watched the end of City, which ended this last week, too. You were in the room when I watched the end of City. There's, like, a musical number.
A little bit.
Yeah. No, what were you thinking
of? Rising of the Shield Hero Season 4 ended. Season 4. So they conquered Q-Tenlo. Which is what's her name? Raftalia's home country. So it was somewhat I don't want to say a letdown, but it wasn't too exciting of a finale for the season. It was kind of like the kind of I didn't quite understand it. There was an emperor who was like a child, and he was being controlled by this, adult woman, but she maybe was being controlled by a spirit or something like that ended up killing her, but then challenging Raftalia to a fight. It is very cool. But okay. Well, Piscosa doesn't like it, but he hasn't seen it, so he's only seen
Yeah,
season
okay.
1.
It's like
It gets very.
that's going to be a personal
Mhm.
opinion at the end of the day. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not into the show. I can see why
Mhm.
why you would like it or whatever, but like I struggled to get into it, you know.
I was less impressed. I will say that season 1 was okay, but it kind of had this interesting hook that kind of kept me in there. And season 4 was a bit of a disappointment. It was not super exciting, um, mostly because they were just traveling to this other country to get them to stop attacking them. But seasons 2 and 3 were really, really good, especially when they find out there are other universes with other heroes who seem to be way cooler than
Yeah.
they are. Um, but I will say, I think the the one character that stole the show in season 4 was the spear hero, who was the biggest asshole at the very beginning. Sort of almost like he was like the leader of the 4. The story that 4 people from the Earth arrive in this world, and they're each given a different weapon, except for the shield hero is given a shield.
Shield's a weapon, for
But he
sure.
uses it as a weapon. Yeah, yeah.
I
But
could
everyone
easily
looks down
bash
on him
somebody's
for
brain in
various
with a
reasons.
shield, you know.
Yeah, he ends up getting the power ups for it that make it, basically able to. But he recruits Raftalia first to be his sword. So he primarily does defense, and she's basically his offense. But the spear hero is sort of the leader and the biggest asshole to him, and does most of the accusing of bullshit that he didn't do. But he ends up having the biggest fall, right? Because he is just on top of the world. He thinks he's the leader of the heroes, just just the greatest thing in the universe, which he kind of is at first. But then when he falls from grace, he ends up in the gutter and just absolutely ends up the worst off, just homeless and penniless, and everybody hates him. Season 4, though, like right before the season, he meets the Shield Hero's second recruit, who is a Falolial. She looks like a little girl, but she's actually the queen of these birds. These giant, they're kind of like ostriches. She doesn't even know that she's basically the next queen. She gets appointed to be the next queen, and she can switch back and forth between being this giant bird that loves to pull their wagon wherever they go, but also has amazing fighting skills. And this little
And can kill a
basically a
dragon from
lolly,
the inside out.
a lolly. Yeah, that's right. The spear hero falls in love with her. He's clearly a lolicon. This just absolutely falls in love with her. But of course, she's like, "Get away from me, you weirdo!" Everyone is like, "Get away from this little girl, you total weirdo." So he's completely rejected. But basically, the entire fourth season, they get attacked from Kutenlo because it's discovered that Raftalia is the true emperor, and they don't want her to come and conquer the fake emperor. But they never get attacked. Like, their town never gets attacked after the first time, and they can't figure out why. They never do, at least the whole season. And the reason is because the spear hero decides he is going to basically patrol the perimeter of their entire country, just obliterating every assassin and ninja that comes along from Kutenlo. It's hilarious. Like, they keep coming back like, why aren't they attacking us? Like, we haven't seen them in months. And then it'll go to him, and he's just like a just crazy, I don't know, Avenger. Just like, you will not attack my beautiful. Can't remember her name. The Falolial. It's hilarious. Oh, and then I didn't quite understand what happened, but this girl that he initially hooked up with, who he conspired with to sort of frame the Shield hero at the very beginning of the show, she somehow gets like a curse on her, or maybe he does, where he looks, he thinks that she's like a pig creature, like that's what he actually sees when he looks at her, and he ends up, well, I don't know if she's gone for good or not, but he ends up taking her out, not even realizing who it is. So it's kind of a little cathartic moment because she is a total bitch. Awful girl. So he ended up being the funniest part of the whole season. But other than that, it was kind of boring.
Kind of boring
But
is
I like it.
kind of the entire impression that I got from the show the last time I tried to watch it.
I'll just say seasons 2 and 3 were great. You know, and when the Shield hero starts to, you know, recruit more people, and he starts to kick ass, and he goes around, you know, these waves keep coming every couple of months or so of monsters that come in and attack, and people notice that he's the only one like actually defending entire villages, like making sure people are okay and, you know, preventing their destruction, whereas all the other guys are just like trying to get power and glory. And they start to turn on the other characters, and they start to realize he's the good guy, and then when they finally run into these other heroes from other universes, it gets really, really interesting. There's a whole part where they go to this like island that's seemingly in a pocket dimension kind of a thing, where one of the heroes from one of the other universes has been stuck for years and there's no way out, and then he figures out a way out. That whole storyline was really cool.
Yeah.
And then there's also this hero from a dimension that got destroyed, and she seems like a damaged. She's a person, but she acts like a robot. Like her voice like cracks, like it's like there's static in her voice. It's really interesting, where, you know, you find out that, oh, she failed and her whole team failed and their universe got destroyed, and so she's here to help him prevent his universe destroyed. So yeah, I wish this season had been more like the previous two. It should get interesting from here on, because they'll have more, like, there was no big bad for them to fight this season, but there is one coming next. We'll see. Anyway, I like it. Sorry,
you're
sorry for liking
it, you know. You know, people are allowed to like different things.
But I will grant that the first, it was slow to get going, and I totally understand if people are like, well, I'm not going to sit through a bunch of, you know, an entire bad season just to get to the good stuff.
Yeah. I think I was enjoying more that other one that you started showing me that I just didn't get around to until now, the Alice in Borderlands that we were watching.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've actually...
Well, that's a live action.
Yeah, it is live action. There apparently, the year after the live action came out, an anime for it came out too. Which I haven't even seen either of them. I've never read the manga because the manga came out basically just as I was graduating high school. And as a lot of people, when you right after you graduate high school, you get so busy with so many other things that you kind of put down some of your hobbies for a while. So I just, it probably is one I would have read if it came out a little bit sooner or later, right? But I thought that was pretty enjoyable. How many? Like 3-4 episodes into it now.
I think we've only watched two.
Really? Only two? I don't know. Maybe 3.
I guess 3.
Yeah, because we got to the botanical gardens. So I'll be interested in watching more of that as we get into it.
Yeah, it's funny because as I told you, I only remembered the first episode. And I was like, I've seen all of season 1 and like half of season 2, but it's almost like watching it again for the first time, because I'm just like, I don't even remember this part.
Yeah, Fizz asks, what show?
Yes.
Alice in Borderlands, right? And it's technically, I guess, an isekai, if you want to use that word. They do get spirited away to another world. I don't believe they died before going to the other world, but maybe, we'll find out later. That could be like a weird twist that happens. Like, oh no, technically you guys have been dead the whole time, and when you die in this world, you finally move on. That totally could be like almost like a Lost style twist way later. I don't know. But as far as you know, everybody's alive. They've just been spirited away to this like other plane that's identical to the world they were in, but there's nobody else around but the people who have to compete in these like death games. And you have to compete in the games to keep getting an extension to your visa in that land, or else you're killed off once it expires. Or you die in the game. Either way, you're probably going to die. You're just like putting off the inevitable as far as they know. They keep running into other people. It's pretty interesting. It was it 2021, I think, is when this show aired. So a lot of the production of it was actually done during COVID, which is like I was talking about when we were watching. That's how they were able to get so many empty streets in Shibuya, because there were plenty of times where, since people were in Japan gladfully following the recommendation from the government, because it's an honorable thing to do, you could find plenty of empty streets during that time, and never any other time in Japanese history.
Yeah, I suspect they may have either CGI'd or just artificially put like some of the cars that were like in the middle of the roads.
Oh, I definitely,
the roads were just completely bare.
Definitely think so.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's probably plates too, like for later seasons. They couldn't continuously get new footage for it, so they probably used models, 3D models. They probably used plates. They probably trained a 3D model of Shibuya based off of everything. But it's probably a mixture of things to keep the budget down.
Yeah. But you thought it was, I noticed, like, in that one scene of Shibuya, there was the advertisement in the background of just some Japanese face, and you're like, oh, nice Tekken ad.
Oh yeah, it was from Tekken 8. And they had another Tekken 8 ad in the subway too, like an actual little game poster. But like I recognized Jin right away, like I've played enough Tekken in my life.
I was like, I saw the ad. I was like, oh, I wonder what that's for. Oh, by the way, it was, of course, the girl's name is Philo.
Philo.
Philo, the Philolian. Makes sense.
But yeah, that's an interesting show. Apparently, it's been going on for a bit too. I don't know if it still is, but there's a few seasons of it. So I've plenty of catch-up to do on it.
The third season, either, I don't know if they released it all at once or if it's new episodes each week or whatever, but yeah, they're in the middle of the third season. So I'll have to. All I remember from when I watched it, I guess several years ago, was that the second season's very different from the first season.
Typically,
I can't really remember much else.
Yeah,
They go off in a completely different direction, and I think you learn a bit more about these playing cards, because in this season, in the first season, each game is designated a type and difficulty based on these playing cards.
Yep. That's what it seems. Higher number, higher difficulty, different suits are different types of games.
Yeah. And you never want to play a Hearts game, that's for sure.
Yep. I'm assuming
they're the worst.
Obviously, there's a lot of Alice in Wonderland like references and influences to it. That the Queen of Hearts is probably the worst possible game that you could play. Just gonna guess right out of there. In fact, it's probably gonna try to take off your head. We already have. There's a character named Arisu, which they overpronounce in the English dub. They always call him Arisu. Arisu, Arisu. But obviously, Arisu is a Japanese surname that also happens to be how you would say Alice if you were to say it in Japanese. So
is it a surname or a?
This is a surname.
Is his first name basically, or is?
I believe it's the equivalent of his last.
Is it a family name?
Even his family was calling him Koi, which I believe is his actual given name.
Oh, okay.
But your friends,
Anyway.
it's actually very common to, especially in Japan, to refer to people by their surname if you're not around multiple members of their family or whatever. Because typically when you first meet them, you would call them like, in his case, Arisa-san, right? Which san kind of means like Mr. or Master in that way. So you would call people Mr. whatever your surname is, and then if you get closer, you might start using their given name, or sometimes you're just already so used to using their surname that you just drop the honorific and call them that, you know?
Yeah. Well, not too far into it, but
Yeah.
as I recall, it's good throughout the first season. I feel like in the second season, there are actual like characters, like people show up who are like the king of clubs and
Oh,
the
okay.
jack of spades and things like that.
Oh, no, it's like his two
That's
friends,
really all I remember.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum over there got killed off in the third episode, so.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see. I completely forgot. I was like, I don't remember if they get out of this or not. You know, it didn't seem like they're going to, but I couldn't.
It just reminded me of Tribe 9, which was a recent gacha game that didn't last very long. And it's like, well, this was written way before Tribe 9 came out. And the guy who makes those games, Danganronpa and all that, the 100-Line Defense Academy that just came out, often does death games. I could see that he was probably inspired a lot by Alice in Borderlands when he made Tribe 9. Especially because, like, in the prologue, like right at the beginning, lasers come from above and kill two of his friends right in front of him. Which is not how they died in this case, but the space laser thing is how a lot of people die. So it's like, I was like, oh man, maybe I would have noticed that in Tribe 9 if I had already like read the manga or watched the show before Tribe 9 had come out. It's a shame that went end of service. But yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, at least you got something to watch.
Oh, we're kind of
we've been looking for things
yeah, we're
to
looking
watch.
for something. Yeah, you're not too into it, but I do need to get back to finishing up. Or I guess you are, but you're behind. Watching the Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus.
I just
which is
haven't
the
watched
second season.
either like the movie or anything like that or whatever's in between.
Yeah, I believe that this season just ended as well, but I'm only a couple episodes into it, so I need to catch up.
I'll tell you what just ended. That was great. As I mentioned before, was City, which I've talked about a little bit. I want to give my final wrap-up thoughts on City the animation. I believe this is probably the only season it's getting. I think it's just a limited series. I don't know. I haven't heard about it. But it kind of wrapped up what you could consider a story by the end of it anyway. And City the animation, even the story City, is basically about a summer in this one city. This crazy, nonsensical city in Japan. And the finale was really cool. I have some complaints that they didn't dub the musical number half of the finale. So I'm watching it in English, and then all of a sudden, it's Japanese for like the rest of the half of the episode. Why?
Did they have subtitles?
Yeah, there were subtitles for sure. I leave the subtitles on anyway when I'm watching those shows, even if I'm watching it in English, just because I'm used to having subtitles on. But it's great. It's a very random show in the way that you would expect a cartoon to be. Very just everything's a non sequitur almost. Kind of like bits. It feels like they were a bunch of. I've never read City, so I couldn't tell you. But it feels like they were a bunch of like 4-koma or Yonkoma bits, where it's like the 4-panel pages. Kind of similar. It reminded me of a lot of watching Azumanga Daioh, which was a bunch like Yonkoma before it was adapted, where there's like a bunch of bits and they're strung together into an episode. I think it's fun to make a show like that, where it just keeps like transitioning from one point to the next between a bunch of different people's perspectives. And that's what City does. You will follow all of these different people in the city. But basically, there are, I guess, 3 main through lines. There's a bunch of smaller ones, but like 3 main through lines throughout it. There's the restaurant that is ran by the dad of one of the families. That's one of the main through lines. You keep coming back to his restaurant, which at the very end, the whole reason it broke into a musical number is because he was awarded 1 star. And everybody was so excited that his Western cuisine restaurant got a star. And that's why it crescendoed. But that's a through line. The other one there's these 3 girls that are really close to each other, like kind of like best friends, that also end up living together. They didn't at first. One of the girls, Nagamo, was like running from her landlady, trying to avoid her coming to get rent or whatever, dipped into her friend's apartment, and then she's kind of just been living there since. And their other friend just showed up one day. She pulled open the closet and she was already in there with like a sleeping bag and pajamas and stuff like that. So it's just kind of like fell together that these 3 are just living in the same apartment now. So there's a through line with them, which I think Nagamo's probably the best character in the show too. So that's why I remember that through line. And the other one, man, I can't remember the other girl's name. But there's these 2 girls that were like really, really close friends who didn't. One of them didn't have a lot of friends. She was a transfer student when she first came in, and they became like the closest friends. Echan and I can't remember Echan's friend's name, but Echan has to leave to Britain. Like they're moving to England at the end of the show, so there's a lot of build up to them spending as much time together as they can before she leaves to England. So that's one of the closing threads of the series too. But on the way to all that, it's just a bunch of nonsense. There's like a citywide mini-game obstacle race that a bunch of people participate in for no reason. There's a whole episode where, I'm going to say the whole episode. It's a good chunk of an episode where a bunch of people are betting on a horse race, but you're just listening. You don't even get to see the horse race. It's just the radio and everybody's reactions to what's going on in the race, tearing up their tickets and trying to piece them together as one horse gets disqualified. Oh, but they let him back in the race for some reason while it was already going, to finally being disqualified at the end because it turns out he was a gazelle the whole time. Like, it's just like one of those shows. Bunch of through lines. There's one with like a mangaka who is constantly on the verge of quitting drawing his manga and being replaced by somebody else. It's just fun. It's a really hard show to describe. It's basically bit after bit after bit. I remember one episode, I explained it to you, where they were trapped in a tower because they did a good deed, and they were basically kidnapped to be given an award. Normally you don't kidnap people and put them in a tower when they do something good, but that happens in this world. It's like, you will get an award and you will like it. You will wait up in our tower of hospitality until we're ready to give it to you. So as they're trying to escape, there's like a whole bunch of panels on the screen, so you could see like all these other stuff going on. And one of them was like a Dragon Quest style pixel map of them going down the tower and going down a stair each floor and everything that was just going off on the side while they were doing it. It's just a very experimental, very fun show. From what I'm told, is equally as experimental as the manga was when they were doing things. It's very beautiful too. I love the way it looks. I've recommended it before talking about it, but now that it's over and I can concisely say how good it is, I would probably give this like an 8 out of 10 for like a wacky cartoon series, and highly recommend people give it a try if they have access to it. Or if you don't have access to it, go find it anyway. And it's short. It's like 13 episodes, I think. Like, you could just binge right through it. Yeah.
Well, have you seen the box office for this Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Infinity Castle?
I have not seen the box office numbers. I assume it's huge because despite it not deserving it, Demon Slayer is a massively popular property.
It is the biggest foreign film since in the United States since Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Wow.
Remember that one?
Yeah, yeah.
Which that one brought in
I like Crouching Tiger a lot.
Yeah, I remember that came along and it was like huge. That one made 128 million. This one so far has made 118 million in the United States, but the worldwide box office has passed $600 million. And can you guess what the budget was?
Let me see.
It was what?
Oh, I was gonna actually take a guess.
Sorry.
Which it's kind of ruined now because you started saying it, so you just finish it.
Yeah, it was $20 million.
Yeah.
Was the
That was still a little bit higher than my guess.
thing they made?
I was gonna guess somewhere in like the teens, but
Yeah, unbelievable. You know, there's Hollywood blockbusters. I feel like it's making around the same as the Fantastic Four movie, except that movie cost like
10 times as much.
like 200. Oh yeah, more than
Yeah.
10 times as much. Yeah. Like 12 or 13 times. I can't help wondering. Like, I know live action obviously is very different, but like,
Well, I mean,
how much of
counterpoint,
the
Godzilla -1 didn't cost that much. I mean, it cost more than that, but
Yeah.
I think that was like 60 million, which is still way cheaper than anything Marvel or DC had been doing. So,
is it? I mean, the 200 to 300 million that it costs apparently to make, even like, I guess they probably call that a low budget.
yeah.
Marvel or superhero movie. Like, does most of that money,
Goes
does
to
that
paying
count like how
actors.
much the actors require?
Yeah,
and,
that's part of the budget, right? And the
like,
thing is, like, you
the
add up
bloated.
all of the actors, and it's like, well, it's bloated recording time, right? We're basically shooting 6 different movies worth of movies, so you have to be paid for 6 different movies worth of time, and then we'll figure out what movie we actually wanted to do on the editing room floor. That's the big thing
Yeah.
that's bloating it, more than even the CGI is.
And I feel like, even the crew, because like you watch the credits for an hour, and it's like, how many people did they really need for this? Like, how many DEI consultants and how many sensitivity readers?
Yeah. Sorry, you
How
said
many dolly
credits,
grips do you really need?
and I just remembered one of my other favorite bits from the Naked Gun movie is during the credits, out of nowhere, there's just like one of
Oh,
those eyesight tests, right? And it's at the bottom, it's like, if you can
Yeah.
read this, you don't need glasses.
Yeah. Well, they did the classic, everything freezes except the
Yeah.
the main character or the 2 main characters.
But you just said credits and it
You're like,
reminded
what
me
the
of
hell's
that.
going
But
on?
it's like, yeah, the credits are so bloated. I remember back in the day, people used to make fun of movies that had credits that long because it was never necessary. Like, I think the first one I remember is people were laughing at how many individuals it took to make Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Right, where the credits were so
Yeah.
long it felt like it was a scene of the movie. They're like, man, these credits are almost as big as like a video game's credits.
And like, I remember like recently, is it a Bethesda games? I don't remember what game it was where it was like headlines that the credits actually took an hour,
Oh wow.
and on some video game,
I used to think Kingdom
and
Hearts
people
had
including me were
allowed
like,
credits list, but that's crazy.
yeah. I could probably look it up, but I remember saying, like, this is why these games suck, because they waste so much money on all these. There's no way they needed this many people,
Yeah.
and all these woke,
The movie's
wokies
got to
were
be
like,
the same
"Oh,
way.
it's woke because they, yeah." It's like, is it woke because they thanked all of the, they mentioned all the people that worked on it?
No,
Like,
it's because you put a
of
bunch
all
of
the people that
untalented
worked on it.
people in there. If
yeah,
you had more talented people, you wouldn't need that many.
Yeah, I don't remember what. It was a recent game that took forever to roll the
Like,
credits.
I think Kingdom Hearts 2, I wasn't one of those ones where I thought the credits were ridiculously long, but that only took like 20 minutes, right? And that was back in the aughts. But a 20-minute credit reel felt like forever back in the aughts, you know?
Yeah. Crazy. Wait a minute. You know the longest end credits in a video game
What is it?
is Mighty Number 9.
That's ridiculous because that game doesn't even feel like that many people worked on it.
Is because all 67,000 backers of the Kickstarter
That's
were listed
fine.
in the credits.
That's perfectly fine, you know?
Yeah, but it was 3 hours and 47, almost 48 minutes long.
I mean, a lot of like funded games do that, where they'll just put like the backers' names in it. Most of them will do it in a condensed way, but they'll be there. I think I actually remember some of my friends were taking photos of themselves standing next to the screen during the credits, so I should have known that. Like, I think my friend Dylan Toomey took a picture of him standing next to his name in the credits. Maybe even Tom the Iron Man. I know because I had a few friends that backed Mighty Number 9. They don't regret it either, as bad of a game as it came out to be. Though I heard it wasn't that bad of a game. Like 2 years after it came out, and they finally put everything into it, right? Once they've added the boss rush and stuff. But on launch, it was a pretty bad game.
Yeah. You know what it was? It was Assassin's Creed Shadows. That would be everybody was making fun of because it was at least an hour and a half of credits.
Yeah. Like, that's a movie worth of credits, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want to watch a movie of credits. What I like, some games now don't even put the credits at the end, especially if it's like a live service game, because you're like, well, there is no end or whatever. So what they'll do is they will have a credit reel, but they'll leave it in the options, and you can just choose when you want to go watch the credit reel. I think that's a good compromise for something that's interactive like a game, and you can choose it. Obviously, you can't make that compromise in a movie, especially because of film industry standards and requirements. You have to credit people with the film, so that's going to go at the end. But credits do seem like they're going too long. There's got to be some compromise made with like the Motion Picture Association of America, where it's like, okay, there's a mandatory type of people that we have to credit, but maybe we can leave like a QR code or a website in the credits where you can go and see the rest of everybody. Like, we can name the department, right? And then you could go see everybody who worked in that department or something like that, you know? Like this, like Technicolor. We don't, I saw a block in a movie recently where it listed all the people from Technicolor that worked in the editing of a movie. And it's like, why can't you just put Technicolor like you used to? I don't need to know all those people. Just give me a go to Technicolor's website, and I can go click on the movie, and you tell me all the people that work specifically on that movie. You're taking up too much space in the credits.
Yeah. Apparently, Assassin's Creed Shadow was actually 2 hours long credits. That's a long-ass movie.
You believe
And
that Technicolor
a lot
still
of
doing
it was... Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. I mean, they must... I'm sure it's completely different technology nowadays.
Yeah.
Originally. But apparently these credits, like some of it was instructions on the Apache license and a repeat of disclaimers like over and over and over 5 or 6 times. Who did the credits? Just fire that person.
Yeah. Be like Monty Python, you know, the person in charge of the subtitles has been sacked.
Yeah.
And then like a minute later, the person in charge of sacking the last guy himself has now been sacked.
Yeah, I bet half the credits are the people who did the credits.
Yeah. Boy.
It's crazy. What does it say? Assassin's Creed Shadows has end credits that just repeating myself. Anyway, I
completely
guess we're probably going to watch
lost our
Alice
train
in
of thought.
Borderlands before we. I know.
Yeah.
Before Ranma, and there are a couple other things we'd mentioned before coming in October, I think.
Yeah, I just can't remember what our list is. I'll remember when we get to it, and then we'll talk about it on the show. So some of it will stay a surprise. Some of it won't be for anybody who, according to the views, most people that watch the show watch it after the fact. So anybody who watches the VOD, maybe they've got a better memory of the things I've said than me. Because I say a lot of things on any given day, especially the more often I've been streaming. Like, I say a lot of things on the game streams that I'll never remember that I've ever said them.
Yeah.
That's just what happens when you talk a lot.
Oh. Also on Saturday, Spy Family Season 3 is coming.
Oh, Saturday. That reminded me of the other thing we need to talk about. I was going to talk about Sakamoto Days now that the first season is completely done. They separated into two parts. I thought that was 2 seasons, but apparently it's only been one 22-episode season so far. But all I can say is go watch Sakamoto Days. If you haven't, start reading the manga. It's good. We need to talk about the Karate Kid Legends because that happened. That was a thing we watched. And the thing is, it's so forgettable that I almost keep forgetting that we need to talk about it.
I guess we'll talk about it more next week, but we can at least start.
I don't know if there'll be any more to talk about. I don't think we have too much to say about this to begin with. I don't even think we have to go too much over. I think the next 8 minutes is probably enough to talk about the Karate Kid Legends. Anyway, so we watched the Karate Kid Legends. It came out on Saturday. It was marketed as like the big return of the Karate Kid, separate from Cobra Kai. Remember that. They market this as being something completely separate from Cobra Kai, not in the same continuity. And it was
like
supposed
a different
to,
universe.
Yeah, like a different split in a timeline. And it was supposed to be Daniel and Mr. Han meeting each other and training another kid. That was what it was marketed as. That was supposed to be like a big thing in this movie. Ignore all of the marketing for this movie whatsoever. None of it matters. It's all basically just misleading you to a degree. Yeah. I don't think it was definitely a lie, but it was like half-truths, right? It was like your friend not quite telling you everything before you showed up to the party. Just to get you to go, right? And, man, like, there was a kid. This happened. It was one of Mr. Han's students, because apparently Mr. Han moved from Hong Kong to Beijing because they started off in Beijing. I don't know why. They did not explain why he had moved to Beijing. And this kid, Li Fong, moved to New York with his mom because that's her residency is being changed to a New York hospital. And he winds up in a mess where he's got to train a full-grown adult boxer how to box again using his kung fu training from Mr. Han's school. And this is like half of the movie. Like, we shit you not. This plot here that sounds like it's the setup for the movie is like half of the movie. Where he's training this guy. They're doing all kinds of things. He tries to do a boxing match to be able to get the money to pay off the debt he owes this mob who happens to own a karate studio. And he gets horribly taken out during the fight. In like a very cheating way that should have
cheating.
Yeah. Should have disqualified the guy. If it wasn't for the fact that I'm pretty sure the dude he owed money to also owned the fighting ring, right? So after all this, Mr. Han comes to visit because he definitely can tell that his student is in despair. And when he goes to meet the guy, he's like, okay, we're going to solve your problem because solving people's problem is what we do. That's what you do for friends, apparently. So he starts training Lee. He's like, you're going to fight in a karate tournament and this is going to solve everyone's problems. I know it sounds like I'm speeding through it. This is all of the information they actually give you in the movie. Most of it's just like montages and like one-liner jokes every here and there. Right?
Yeah.
And in the middle, he's like, but I need somebody else to actually teach you because you don't need kung fu for this. You need karate and you need a special kind of karate. So he, in the middle of this, flies to the valley in California, talks to Daniel, tells him that he's going to meet him back in New York, but Daniel's like obstinate. He's not going to do it. And then, of course, he just shows up.
Just met.
Yeah. Yeah, because he knew Mr. Miyagi. He didn't know Daniel at all. Like, the first time either of these two met, flies back to New York, and then Daniel shows up, like, a couple days later, and they have, like, a week to train this guy, which, thankfully, he's got a foundation of Kung Fu, because that's the only way you'd be able to train this guy in anything in a week. It didn't really seem like he needed that much training, maybe just more confidence than anything.
Yeah. And for some reason, it really seemed like they really sped run through this tournament right up until he wins the semifinals. And then there's like, I don't know if maybe there was some sort of, again, maybe a pocket universe or something.
Yeah.
Where they suddenly had weeks and weeks for more training between the second to last and the final round.
Yeah, listen,
it's like, wait, how long is it between these two rounds?
I've been in competitions where you get like a week or two in between, but it's not like everything and then the final. It's usually like, okay, there's prelims, then you might have like the actual elimination after maybe a few days of rest. Then you might have a week or two before the actual ladder where like semis and are, and then the final round might be like another few days after that, just to give the fighters some time to rest. But like this felt like everything was crammed through the semifinals, and then they have almost a month, it feels like, before he needs to do the final round. It felt very off, even for people who are used to these type of competitions.
And they're doing did they get the same actor to play Daniel LaRusso?
Yeah, and Mr. Han. It's Jackie Chan
Ralph
and it was Ralph Macchio were both returning for it.
Yeah. But it was funny. So like in the final fight, it's these two skinny kids fighting each other, and one of them, the bad guy, like grabs him by the leg and flies him around like he's
almost superhumanly
superhero, right? Yeah. I'm like, wait, how did he manage to throw his body across the ring?
And it was off the ground, right? Like if he was doing some type of like spin kick or something and he was using his own momentum against him, maybe I'd buy it. But he like literally lifts him off the ground to do this, right?
Yeah. Well, plus they're like on the roof of a building, and when he did that, I'm like, is someone gonna get thrown off this roof or what?
That was dangerous. A lot closer to the middle of the building. I don't think at any point anybody was in danger being thrown off, but the forced perspective sometimes made it feel like it, right? There was a lot of people in the crowd between the stage and the edge. But it was still, I mentioned that at the beginning. It's like, that's a pretty dangerous place to have the final round, don't you think?
Yeah, on top of this building. And I don't know what the deal is with the rights, because they basically had like the Jackie Chan timeline, like universe was Kung Fu. Yeah. And then the other one was karate, but they still called them Karate Kid.
Well, I mean, the same studio owned the rights to both those movies. They just decided they wanted to make a remake later on.
Yeah.
The Cobra Kai thing is where it gets a little weird, but Netflix was one of the co-producers of it. And that's why I think there were some changes in between when they started talking about this movie being made and when it was actually made. Because after he wins, because of course he wins, that's not even a spoiler. Like, if you watch these type of movies, of course he's going to win. It's a movie. It's not the Cobra Kai series that's going to run for years. Though I guess technically Rocky lost his fight, so it was possible in one of these movies. But more likely than not, every Karate Kid, he's basically won his tournament. The guy was going to win. Everything's better. They're getting along. Mr. Han's about to go home. And he's like, oh, but we got to deliver a pizza first. And the pizza's like being sent all the way to the valley in California from New York. Thankfully, it wasn't cooked. It was wrapped in plastic. But when Daniel gets it, he gets a note and everything. There's a joke about how he owes him like $11,000 for like the fare or whatever. And he turns around and Johnny's there. And they're buddy talking. And he even mentions like, oh, $1 million idea. We should make a pizza place called Miyagi Dough. And it's like, wait, but if they're buddy like this, and they're talking about Miyagi-Do karate and everything together, that means that you're like insinuating this takes place in the same timeline as Cobra Kai. There's no split timeline at all. And I think maybe they were talking about that because they weren't sure if they were going to be working with Netflix at first or not. I think that's the main reason when they were talking about it being a completely split timeline.
Yeah, as I'm thinking about it, like, there's no reason to say it was a split timeline. It could have just been the same universe, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it explains why Daniel can't just get up and leave, right? Which he was saying he couldn't. Because if in another timeline, it's like he could just be living out of Mr. Miyagi's place and doesn't have much else to do in life, right? But selling bonsai trees to people.
But like, yeah. I mean, he can't. I guess he has some good people to run his car dealerships or whatever.
His wife.
Yeah. But like, they didn't introduce Daniel until the last third or quarter of the movie.
It bothered me so
much.
much.
Wait a minute. We're halfway through, and number one, all we've talked about or seen is this boxer dude. There's no talk of any
Dawson's
karate or a tournament yet. Yeah, and the guy from Dawson's Creek, and there's no Daniel, and then like he shows up, briefly at about the 2/3 mark, and then finally is like there for the last quarter of the movie, the last 20 minutes basically, and it's like, why did we waste all that time having the kid train a boxer where that storyline went nowhere?
Nowhere. It was just a setup for the actual thing. You could have still had this, but this story should have been condensed to like maybe 5 to 10 minutes tops, right?
All they had to do was just say, "Oh, yeah, he was gonna do the boxing, and then he broke his leg and he couldn't do it."
Yeah, like maybe the guys got him before the boxing thing, and they're like, "Yeah, no, we're not even gonna give you the opportunity."
Yeah, the whole scene where the guy's in the boxing ring and he's like about to win, and then the guy cheats or whatever, is like, no, that's supposed to happen to the hero, and then he overcomes it. Like, why are they doing practically the same storyline twice in one movie?
I know
that we'd already seen in the first Karate Kid. It's like, we're gonna put 2 movies into an hour and a half, like.
Oh, and I also have just problem with like
ridiculous.
The kid anyway, because he, like I said, he didn't feel like the type of guy that needed training, right? He really just needed to pick me up, maybe a few extra techniques, and more than anything, what they gave him was conditioning. What he needed conditioning, because he could hit the bully before, but he couldn't hurt him. He didn't have any power behind what he was doing. If he just did like push-ups and chin-ups for like a week straight, it would probably be better than anything else that he did. That was the issue. It's like, I want a kid that actually needs the help of these guys, and I want the teachers to be almost as much the main characters of the story as the kid. That's how all the previous ones were. Like, Daniel was the main character, but second fiddle and taking up just almost as much screen time was Mr. Miyagi, and Daniel even helped him get over some stuff, right? Like his depression towards his family and everything, because Mr. Miyagi needed a new family. The adopted kid that was Daniel, basically. Mr. Han went through the exact same thing, and Dre helped him with that. And it's like, no, the teachers here are already completed characters. They have no character arc. There's almost no need for them to be here other than to give some, like, last-minute morale to an already developed character, because it didn't really seem like this guy needed that much development. What's the point to this movie? This is a kid that should have just been introduced in a follow-up to Cobra Kai. Like, this is what the story is going to follow now.
Yeah, I think he was too old. Like, they needed to make him younger or something, or less experienced. Yeah, because he wasn't learning any, like... That was the whole point of the original Karate Kid. Like, I guess he'd done a little bit, but, like, he really didn't know anything about karate.
He like, watched some tapes and read like a Karate for Dummies book. That was like the most Daniel had done before that. He had never had a belt. He'd never been to a class or anything. He was like,
this kid was
in
like
the room watching a TV. That was all he did.
This kid seemed to be like, top of the class.
He was competing in tournaments with his brother before his brother died. This is already a tournament fighter, a young one, juniors, but a tournament fighter.
And, yeah, this would have been better as a sequel because he lost his confidence or whatever.
Yeah, I would have
It was
preferred
more like Rocky 3 than anything.
a movie with him and his brother, right? That the brother could die in the movie too. Like that could be the turning point of the movie, right? Maybe they're both
that would have
trained.
been a good movie.
Yeah, back in China, and like maybe there's like this high stakes tournament that they're going to lose or whatever. And Han's like, I need help training this guy. And he calls for Miyagi, but he finds out that his friend Miyagi's passed away. And all he's got is Daniel. And Daniel's like, you know what? Mr. Miyagi would want this. And then he'd hop on a plane and fly over to like Beijing or whatever. That would have been a better movie. That would have been a much, much better movie than what we got.
Yeah, we're sitting there watching the flashbacks and we're like, the flashbacks look great. Let's just watch that movie.
I
Like,
hate... I was going to say this earlier when you were talking about Shield Hero and talking about how like the other people from the other universes seem more interesting. The thing I cannot stand about a story is when they taunt you with a better story in the middle of it. It's like, I would rather be watching that.
Yeah. Of course, in that show, there's a reason why you don't.
No, I get it, but I'm just saying, like, that is an attitude I get all the time where it's like, why are you taunting me with... It's like My Hero Academia. I would rather be watching All Might when he was younger. And they give you, like, information about him when he's younger and some flashbacks and stuff. And, like, I'd rather be reading that. Why are you taunting me with a better story than what you're giving me, you know? That's what I felt like the entire time watching this. It's not a bad movie, but it's not particularly good either.
Yeah, you would think, like, while writing it, you'd be like, hey, wait a minute. We got a much better movie over here. Like, we've practically written a second movie that's better than what we're actually doing.
Yeah.
But, like, you had a good idea, whereas, like, what if he just, like, turned a corner in Brooklyn and, like, ran into, Daniel-san?
Daniel's, like, visiting family. He's from, like, the New York, New Jersey area, you know?
Yeah.
His mom could have been there. She was in Cobra Kai.
Yeah, they could have introduced him 20 minutes in, and he could have been a part of it. Well, maybe he didn't have time or something, but like, what else is Ralph Macchio doing? It was confusing how there was a good movie in there somewhere, but they didn't do it.
I know.
Oh, well.
I know. So,
it's funny how I guess you can, like, watch a movie like that and be like, This would have been much better if they'd done this.
I think I'm going to give it like a 5.5 out of 10. That's probably what I'm going to give it.
I think I'd agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's good parts. I thought the acting was good.
Yeah. Like there was competent
they kind of ruined
to
it.
the filmmaking, right? Like for what they were doing, the cinematography was good. The choreography was good. Like...
I know exactly what Fitzgerald is talking about.
Oh yeah, well, I don't care. But like it was all good, right? There was talent behind the actual filmmaking process. The acting was good. The problem was the actual like plot and everything. Like if all of this talent was used on a better story, it would have been a better movie.
Yeah. Yeah, Fitzgerald is talking about the the incompetent lizard prince who's kind of an idiot, and he has his idiot friends in that time I got reincarnated as a slime. It's like, you know what? He that would be a good like buddy show, like him and his idiot friends like getting into trouble. Like,
I don't know. I don't think I'd watch that.
Lizard guy is just a complete
buddy road trip.
They're funny. They're funny characters.
Stories are preferred to most in general. I think it's one of the best genres. It's one of the oldest.
Do a spin-off
genres actually. The Epic of Gilgamesh is a buddy road trip story, and people just underrate it. It's like they come back around. So the best things ever made are it, but you think people would be making more.
Yeah. Forget what that lizard guy's name is, but it's. He was a funny character.
I would have taken a buddy road trip movie with Mr. Han and Daniel. You know, with screw the kid, just make that movie.
Yeah, leave
instead,
the kid behind.
That would have been great.
Yeah.
One of my favorite buddy movies.
They had Rocky fighting
within like the last few.
The 60s.
Or last decade, I guess, actually. was it 2011? Maybe it was a little lower than the last decade. But you ever Skip Trace with Jackie Chan and Johnny Knoxville? Great movie. That's a buddy road trip movie. We just need more of those type of stories, you know?
And remember that first fight? Was it the first fight where he's like in an alley and the kid gets jumped by a bunch of people? And I was thinking, like, okay, this was clearly choreographed by Jackie Chan because this was a great fight scene.
Well, the kid wasn't the one who got jumped. They weren't there to jump the kid.
Right.
They were telling him, you don't want to be
guy.
here, kid. They were the mob coming to mess him up, and the kid saves him. Yeah. But yeah, it was very much a Jackie Chan scene. He was getting hit and beat up and all of that. And then afterwards, after everything's done and his adrenaline's down, he's like rubbing his knees like, oh. It's like, that's very much like 100% a Jackie Chan scene.
Yeah. Or like he'd hit someone and he'd be like, oh, hurting his hand. And
using the
that was
environment
a great scene. I was like,
weapon.
oh, this movie's good. Yeah, it's like, oh, this is going to be a great movie. And then it just went downhill.
That's the only scene. That and
that was a great
I liked
scene.
when him and Jackie Chan were fighting in his apartment in the dark was also a good scene. There's like the only two good scenes in the whole movie.
Seriously, like they could have made it like more of a Jackie Chan movie where he's like, I don't know, chasing after these bad guys or something. But
why were they still doing jacket on, jacket off? Like, I could kind of get it when he was single-handedly training with him, but he was teaching all of his students here. It's like that was specifically something for Dre, right? It's not a particularly effective training. It's using what you have to train, and he had a problem where his mom kept telling him to pick up his jacket off the ground. Like, that was a specific thing for Dre. Why are his students, unless this is a joke, and obviously they wrote it because it's like, oh, here's the nostalgia, right? It's like, why are his students doing jacket on, jacket off?
Because it's the only thing people can remember from the
It's like the wax on, wax off, right? It's like, okay, if you got a single student, you've got somebody who doesn't understand the fundamentals, you do wax on, wax off. If you bring people
plus
in...
he really likes cars.
Yeah, of course, right? But also, if you bring somebody in who's already got some fundamentals, is already like respectful, already wants to learn, you skip wax on, wax off, right? That's something that Daniel needed because he needed to be shown that everything is karate. The same with like Dre needed the jacket because he needed to be showed that everything is kung fu. These people at his school already know that. They don't need it. It doesn't make any sense why they're doing jacket on, jacket off. Because also, they stop that later in the movie, right? Like, Daniel's not doing wax on, wax off for the rest of the movie. He goes on to, like, more intense training. Dre's not doing jacket on, jacket off for the rest of the movie. This is not regular training you do for the rest of your, like, martial arts career.
Yeah. Well, and they do it in Cobra Kai because the other kids there don't
they're
know
learning
the fundamentals.
Yeah.
They
came from Cobra Kai. They don't know what karate is, so Daniel puts them onto the fundamentals he went through, right? There's a little bit of a difference there. These are people that have been training at Mr. Han's school for years. Right? Even this kid, he's still using a jacket while he's up on the roof. It's like, this is like one of your best students. Why is he still doing this?
Yep. Well, we all know. It's just this stupid nostalgia that makes no sense.
Yeah.
All right, we don't have to talk about that.
I think that's the end of the show. I think we covered it. We went a little bit longer than I thought. I thought we were going to condense it a little bit more, but the things you were saying started pulling out the rage in me from it. For good reason. I just didn't think it was going to come out. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show. Remember, we're here for Super Serial Showtime and Game Central Junction Mondays and Thursdays at 9 p.m. Central. It says 8. Why does it say 8 on here? That should say 9. I need to fix the ticker. I'll say that while going. But if you enjoyed the show, please consider giving a donation to streamlabs.com/vomitoriumlive. Really helps us out. But at the very least, if you can't do that, share us out with other people, help the show grow, and we'll see you guys then or whenever I decide to stream a game.
Bye.